Hey, welcome to my studio. Today I'm going to share my printing process. The first step in my process is to draw the character. Today I'm creating a stamp of me. This stamp will be in the signed copies of my book, so be sure to look for it on my website. Once I've drawn my character, I go back with a thicker pencil and go over it so it transfers easily. The next step is to transfer the drawing onto a piece of rubber. So I have one here that I've made another stamp with, but I have a lot left over, so I'm going to use what I have. I find a place on my rubber that doesn't have any scratches, and I put it directly over the drawing. So I want it to cover all of it. So place it there. And now the fun part. I get to stand on it. You want to put your whole weight into it, and if you don't weigh a lot, you might have to have a partner help you. Just press into it really hard. Aha, good enough. Not a perfect transfer, but you can tell I have enough that I could go over it with pencil and be able to see it when I'm carving. Now we're at my carving table. With my piece of rubber and my drawing on it, from transferring it, I'm going to use these tools here to carve it out. Now is when the drawing really comes to life. For that reason, carving is my favorite step. I use different sized tools to take away small and large pieces of rubber. I used over 70 stamps for this book, and most of my stamps took between 3 to 10 hours to create. The big EGBDF you see here on the left of my desk took about 8 hours to draw, transfer, carve, and ink up. Once I'm done carving, I cut it out, trim the edges, and then check that I didn't miss any spots. And voila, a finished stamp. The final step in making a stamp is to ink it up and put it on paper. So I've checked my lines are nice and clean. I put an apron on to keep the mess off of me. And I'm going to open up my ink and get ready. I'm using black ink so that I can go back and color my pictures in with colored pencils later. Here, I just have a piece of plastic that I'm using as my plate, and this is where I will roll it. Putting a little bit of ink retarder in there just so that it doesn't dry up quickly. Not necessary, just makes it a little bit easier in Colorado where it's really dry. So I'm going to take my gift card, mix this all together. Now that that's done, with my roller, I'll make a nice sheet right here of ink. Now I have ink on my roller, and I'm taking it and rolling it onto my stamp. One way, and then the other, so that the ink distributes evenly. And now I'm going to press it onto my piece of paper here. And I'm lightly pressing it with my hands first, and then I'm going to take this guy here, my brayer, and press a little more firmly. Turn it around, flip it like a pancake, right here, and press it. I'm going to peel it back, and there it is, a finished stamp. Hey, if you enjoyed learning about my process, check out my website, or follow me on Instagram where I post more of what I'm doing. As always, feel free to connect with me. See you next time!